Good afternoon and welcome to Software Engineering Institute's webinar series. My name is Shane McGraw and I'd like to thank you all for attending today's webinar. Our webinar series presentation today is What's Happening at SEPG North America 2011, a Portland preview by Dr. Palma Buttles and John Weems. And now I'd like to turn the presentation over to John Weems. John?
Thank you, Shane. Along with Palma, we are pleased to be the co-chairs for this year's conference, which is going to be held in Portland, Oregon, March 21st through the 24th, and we're calling this the Power of Process.
Okay, folks, we have a number of polling questions we're going to ask throughout today's presentation. And the first one we'd like to know is, where in the world are you right now? This will help give us an idea of who's on the call and maybe help us expect what kind of audience we can expect at the conference. Okay, folks, as expected, bulk is North America, but we have representation from Europe and Asia Pacific on the call. And I know in the past we've had many South American attendees, so it really has become an international show, has it not, John?
Absolutely. In fact, when we think about SEPGs, we actually need to go all the way back to one of the early writings of Watts Humphrey, which was Managing the Software Process way back in 1988. The whole idea behind SEPGs coming together, Software Engineering Process Groups, it came from that book, and it was a way for the community to share experiences, celebrate successes, and maybe share some disappointments to make sure that others didn't follow in that path. Also, as many of you are aware, we have lost Watts Humphrey this year, and as part of our SEPG conference in Portland, Oregon, we'll be celebrating his life and taking a look at some of the highlights of his life at the beginning of the conference. So I hope you'll join us for that as well. SEPG conferences, and I'm on slide number 5 right now, really went from this concept of getting people together at a workshop and sharing ideas and sharing what went well and what didn't go well to kind of a worldwide audience for this kind of information. The SEPG conference series started back in '88 as a workshop, and then in 1996, some folks out of the European Software Process Institute worked with us to begin the European version of this series. And then in 2003, we started with SEPG Australia and focusing in on the Australian experience, and that grew into something we call SEPG Asia Pacific. And then in 2004, with the European Software Institute, we started working with a number of other organizations within Latin America to bring the same experience there. So as a result, today we have, in its 23rd year, the SEPG North America 2011 conference. SEPG Europe, which will be held in Dublin, Ireland, will be celebrating 16 years. The SEPG Asia Pacific conference, although we haven't selected the city or the dates yet, again, we'll be celebrating its 3rd year. And then SEPG Latin America, where we're starting to put some contracts together and agree on some dates there. So look for some information sometime in the next 2-3 months for SEPG Latin America, now in its 8th year. Well, with all these conferences and everything going on, why should you attend an SEPG? Why would you want to participate in an SEPG conference? Well, one of the first things that you might want to consider is, look at the breadth of experience and where it comes from in the conference. And that is, you can see here in North America, we've kind of spanned the United States here in selecting places to hold this, and our attendee list comes from just about every single state of the Union and all types of organizations that are experiencing their version of process improvement here.